Today, we're going to talk about what is Instagram, a little bit about how to create an account since a lot of people don't have one, and how to use it, some basics about how to use it. And we'll talk about what Instagram is here. So, Instagram, in case you didn't know it, has over 1 billion people that have downloaded and installed the app and set up an account on their computer. It is owned by the company Meta, which also owns Facebook and WhatsApp. And Meta, when it was Facebook, bought Instagram quite a while ago because Instagram was very popular for people who wanted to share photos. And one of the unique things about Instagram was that you could apply filters to photos. That's pretty common now in most of the photo applications and smartphones, so it's not a big deal. But when Instagram came out in the first place, it was a great way, and it became more of a photo and visual sharing type of social network compared to Facebook, which was more about short messages, and Twitter and others. 50% of the Instagram users are between the ages of 18 to 29, which means there's a real concentration of that demographic in their customer base. There's over 25 million businesses that use Instagram to promote and market themselves. Doesn't cost anything to use as a business or a user, and you are able to do this, but they make money from their advertising. In order to advertise on Instagram, you have to have an account with Meta, and people that want to promote themselves will talk about why people might want to pay money for ads and why Meta is such a widely held technology stock, and one of the major reasons investors invest in it and buy and push the price up is because they are one of the biggest revenue producers of advertising revenue on the internet. And Instagram is designed for smartphones. It's all about smartphones first. Okay, so those are some basics about Instagram. Let me talk a little bit about social networks. Okay, so you understand the three things you need to know about every social network. You join it, and you join it either through your phone or email or through a web browser. They're all something you join. You connect with other users on that social network in whatever way they allow you to connect. And you can share things, and other people can share things, and you can see what people share. So it's like a club that you join, you connect with other users, and you see what they share, and you can share things. You don't have to share anything if you don't want to. It's not a requirement that you do it. You can just be an observer and watch what other people share. For brands or businesses, they have to share on a regular basis because that's what people do on social networks is they connect and watch and view and listen to what other or users they follow or connect with share. The connection's a little bit different between each social network, and what you share is a little bit different on each social network. And that's what gives them their characteristics, kind of like going to a restaurant and you can have rice and it can be made into sushi or it can be made in a burrito. And it just depends on how it's cooked in terms of what it gives you. Instagram's free to join, doesn't cost anything. You connect by following other users, and users can follow you. It is possible to have a private account, but it is very, very rare. Instagram tends to be a very public type of social network. You can view what other people post on there. You can share your own posts, and the posts are either photos or videos. You can't just really have a plain text post. It's designed to actually put a photo or a video up there. Most people put things they don't mind sharing with other people on it. Individuals use it to promote themselves. We'll take a look at some of the users I follow, and you can see what types of things they post. So it's for business or person or an organization. And as I mentioned, you don't have to post. It's just a matter of what you may want to do on it. So the first thing you need to do is create an account if you want to use it. So you download the app through the App Store. It's available for iOS and Android. You sign up with an email, a phone, or if you already have a Facebook account, you can use your Facebook account and create an Instagram account. The content you see and view on Instagram is different from what you would see on Facebook. And what you post, if you decide to share anything on Instagram, it's different than what you post on Facebook because they're both owned by Meta. They do let you share to both if you want to, so that you can save yourself time by doing that. You choose a username. My username on Instagram is Bobology. It usually begins with an @ sign, so that's a username. You create a password for logging in, and then you can add a profile picture and a short biography. It's not very long, about a sentence or two, and you can link to a website or two if you want to. So if you want people to know where your website, we'll take a look at my profile and you'll see that. The concept is about following and being followed. So you follow other users in order to connect with them. You can search by an individual's name or their username. You just tap the follow button. You can explore with a tool that they have built in. And what happens is when you follow another user, their posts will appear in your what's called your feed. And we'll talk about the feed in a minute. What Instagram is doing is it's gathering everything up from users you follow and it's bringing it to you, and then it's going to display it on the screen of your phone so that you can find out what's going on with accounts that you want to follow. And accounts can be a business, an organization, a person, it can be anything. And a lot of people and a lot of organizations put updates on Instagram to communicate with their audience, the people that follow them. You can be followed, okay? So unless you make your account specifically private when you set it up, you can be followed, and what others will see is your biography and your profile picture. It's not much about you. And they will see your posts in their feed, and mutual following allows you to directly message other Instagram users. So you can communicate with them through Instagram using the Instagram messaging function. Now, you'll see this on my screen when I bring up my screen, but your navigation on your phone, it'll have a little Instagram logo. There'll be some navigation buttons up here. There'll be something called stories up here. And stories are things that only show up from users you follow. Okay, and they have a certain characteristic we'll look at. But most of your screen is filled up with what's called the feed, which is the information that's getting fed into Instagram on your screen from users that you follow, plus an occasional ad or two, or something that Instagram thinks you might be interested in. Instagram kind of acts like the editor of a newspaper that kind of decides what articles should be on the home page. And the screen on your smartphone is basically like the home page of a newspaper, and Instagram's deciding what shows up there. And what they want is they want you to keep back coming and using Instagram as many hours as possible. And so they make sure that the feed has things that you are probably going to be interested in as they learn more about you as you use it. The feed shows up when you look at your home button, and there's some navigation buttons at the bottom. We'll look at them. So it'll have things, posts from other users that you follow, recommendations that Instagram might put up there, and advertisements. That's always what's going to show up. So businesses that want to be more prominent to users can buy advertising from Instagram, Meta, and actually force themselves into the feed of other people. So when you share things, you can share things as what's called a post, and you can view posts. They'll be in your feed. You can view a story or share a story, or you can share what's called a reel. So these are the three types of content that is shared on Instagram, and they mean different things. A post is usually a photo or with some text underneath it. A story is something that shows up in a special place along the top part of Instagram, and it has a short lifespan. It doesn't stay around forever. And then there's a reel, which is a video, a post that is available to be discovered publicly. So this is the breakdown of what they have. So a post is public, and it can be a photo plus text up to 2,200 characters. Okay. And it's used primarily to highlight moments. Okay. Not, it can be used for anything you want to, but it is a photo with text associated with it. And it's available publicly. Anybody that finds you on Instagram can see it. Anybody can see it whether they follow you or not. A story is a little bit different. Instagram had a competitor that started to come along called Snapchat. And what they did was they basically created this concept of things that were only viewable once. And Meta and Facebook and Instagram decided that was a really great idea. So what they did was they said, let's create this thing called a story that is something that people can post, but it's only available for 24 hours. So what that does is it gets people to come back and look at Instagram more, because if somebody you're following posts a story and it's only there for 24 hours, if you don't look at Instagram every day, you might miss something. And so it's a way to get you to come back and use Instagram. It can be something up to 60 seconds. It could be a still picture or a video. And basically its purpose is to update followers. It only shows up to followers, the people that follow you. But since anybody can follow you, it's not really incredibly private, but it does feature more prominently to people that follow you. And then there's something called a reel. It's a 90-second video that you publish as a video. It can be something you take with your smartphone camera, or you can upload it to Instagram by recording it and uploading it later. And it's a way to be discovered and have more visibility. And people that produce reels tend to do it primarily because they want to be discovered. So there's a lot of different types of content going on Instagram, but it's all pretty short form. Nothing really takes a long time to read. So you're not getting articles, you're not getting long texts, you're getting short snippets of information here that are available. And it's possible to create things pretty quickly as well. Now, when you see this stuff, you have the ability to like it by tapping the heart icon. That's usually what people do, and that's saying, I like it. You can comment on it. You can tap the speech bubble and enter a comment, and that will be visible to anybody that saw it in the first place, which is usually public. And a message goes back to the user that lets them know, hey, somebody made a comment. Or you can share it with other users, where you tap the paper airplane icon and you share it with your followers. So that's how something goes viral. So if I shared something and 10 of my followers tapped the share icon, it would go out to their followers. And if they tap the share icon, it would go out to them. So it's a very word of mouth type of social network that way. It's very easy to get information out very quickly. So this is my home screen. I keep all of my social network accounts in one folder here. And there's the Instagram. I'll open it up. Okay, so I do follow Instagram for Business. This is my feed right here. Okay, so this is my feed, and they have some song that's going to be playing, but you can't hear it too well with the sharing, but they will show up in the feed. Now, where's the rest of the feed? I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to swipe up, and that's how I can see what's going on. Now you can see here's a heart. A lot of people like this. A lot of people commented on it. A lot of people shared it. And so you can see this post and get more. So here's another post. It's called Loom Cube, and it says sponsored, which means it's an ad. But they have a little video that they're running to show what it is.
Work harder, look better,
and showing things
for all my productivity. If you're looking to level up your workspace, try out Loom Cube's Edge Light 2.
I was able to turn this office
and if we go to the next one,
filming studio.
and the next one, and the next one. So this feed gets really busy as you go through things. Ramona Paloma Tile is a tile artist that took one of my classes in Pasadena, and she posts quite a bit on there. And so if I just want to like it, I just tap the like button and it shows that I've liked it. I can tap the comment button and I can say, good to see your posts on IG. Okay. And so you can see comments here. And so people can reply to the comments and do other things. I can share I can share this post anywhere I want. Okay, so these are, and you'll see my comment shows up here. Here's Orange County Goodwill. Here's something else, promo.com, some advertisers, KWSM team. She's a marketing agency that does social media marketing. Ukraine, Pushing Vision, NPR, Riverside FM, just a lot of stuff. Now, you can tap the search button. So when you look at the home button, you are looking at your feed, and there's always new stuff showing up here. Okay, so here's Los Angeles Times. Well, actually, this is NPR that showed up. And this little button here means that they have paid to be a verified account. Now, somebody asked about stories. This area up here at the top is where stories appear. I can create a story, but these are stories from people I follow. Erin Alford Mezzo is an opera singer. She's a friend of my niece that I met at a wedding, but she has a story here. And you can see it plays for a little while. And what's going to happen is after this plays, it's going to go to the next story from the next person.
Versus what
This is an ad.
I've been wanting to try it out ever since I saw so many good reviews online. I was sold.
I can tap the X on the ad if I want to get rid of it. Here's another story from, now you see there's a ring around this. That tells you that you have not viewed the story. Erin's story has been viewed. Columbia Spanish, there was a Spanish school that I took some classes at when I was in Columbia. It has a ring around it, which means it's a new story. So if I tap that story, it's going to show something here.
How could something so...
And then I'll get ads inserted here. I'll get other things. Here's KWSM team, their social media. They are posting to the story.
This is the state.
And you're going to get ads. This is like browsing things that are of interest to you that you might. Ariel, this and that. She's a podcaster that was in one of my classes that's gone on to become a pretty popular podcaster. And you can create a story with just images, or you can create a story with a video. Okay. And you can see if it has images, it's got multiple images, and they just run.
Diver. You can now,
and then you get ads showing up there. Okay, so you're going to get a lot of ads. So I want to show you that's where stories are, and then the navigation on the bottom is what you would use to search for something. You can ask Meta AI or search. So if I wanted to find something about museums, okay, I can find for museums. Here's the Museum of Neon Art. They have an account. If I want to follow them, I can click on follow, and now some of their content will show up in my feed. Sometimes they have a message button, but this is all that's on a profile, is that they have a username, they have a category of what they are, they have their address, and they have a link to a website. And that's pretty much all that's in a profile. You can see how many followers there are, how many posts, how many people are following. And if I share it, that means other people will get it shared. I can share it to other users. I can send it. I can copy the link, or I can download it. So I can share it to specific users here if I want to, or to myself in a message, and send it to myself as a message or a text. It'll send me that link, and I can use it for myself and or anybody else. It'll show up as a text message. So there are lots of tools. So that's searching. Okay, so I can search for any user name. If I want to search for any other accounts, Dogma 67 is my college roommate that does neon signs. He posts information about things he's done. I can see everything he's done. It tells me I'm following him. I can message him through Instagram. And so he tends to use Instagram for messaging, but I can see things that he's done, posts of his history. Now, if I go back to my home screen, there's a video icon. This is for Reels. So this is just going to show me Reels that are going on Instagram, and it may or may not be useful for you. So Reels tend to be noisy sometimes, and you have to be careful about them, but they can be entertaining as well. And then there's my profile right here, okay? And it has a little notification. Meta also owns this thing called Threads. So, here's my profile. I have a profile picture, what I do. Here's a link to my website. I can edit my profile because it's me. I can share my profile, or I can, look at email. So I've got a couple of posts here. If I want to post my bowling score, let me go back and do this more slowly. I tap the plus button whenever I want to add something to Instagram and share it. So I'm going to tap this. Here's my bowling score right here. It takes my photos. It accesses photos, and I can see share it as a post, a story, a reel, or a live broadcast. Instagram actually lets you go live. I'm just going to share it as a post, and it says next. And it gives me the ability to apply filters to it, or make commentary on it if I want to, or add music to it. So if I want to say, something here, so I could say second highest score. I can add some text to this, and I can change it a little bit, move this around and tap done. And then I can go to next. And then I can tag people. I don't need to. A tag means there would be somebody else with me with an @ sign I could use. That's what a tag is. I could add music. If I wanted to, I could add this is how we do it, and then tap done, and then tap share, and it's going to be public. Okay, so now I've got a new post that I've shared. I can go back to my profile and I can see things that I've shared. Here it is. Okay, so it's in my history, and other people that follow me will see it. It's not a story though. Okay, so if I wanted it to appear as a story, I would tap on story, and that would give me something that would appear to other users when they looked at the home screen. It would appear to my followers up here on top like that. So again, with Instagram, you've got navigation at the bottom. You do not have to post anything if you don't want to, but it's a nice idea to put a little profile picture up there, let people know it's you so that they can make sure it's the right Bob Cohen, for example. And you can then just use your home screen and find people, search for people, and follow them if you want to, and communicate. So these are, all the stories that I've seen from people, and these stories are going to disappear in 24 hours. April Winona, She's a student that took one of my marketing classes, and she has a denim line of clothing she sells now. So it's kind of interesting to see what students have gone up to do, people that are doing different types of things. So stories is a little easier way to keep up to date on the users that you follow, but you will see things in your feed as well. So here's Museum of Neon Art, and you'll see that Cupper 11 is my roommate's wife. And so, but it tells you who likes it. And sometimes it'll show things there, but also I'll see an ad, story blocks, okay, sponsored. Okay, here's Cupper is actually a ceramic artist. And so she's visiting a museum here and sharing the video. NPR, again, Pushing Vision, other things, TechSmith, which is my video editing. So some people put videos up there, some people just put pictures, some people don't share much of anything, but it's always possible. And there's a little flag down here, that's a bookmark. So if you wanted to save this to a list that you have, you can always view your saved bookmarks in Instagram as well, which makes it easy to go back and find something that you might be interested in. So that's what I wanted to show you and help you understand a little bit how to navigate